Hey guys, today we're in Athens, Georgia on the campus of the University of Georgia on the Oconee River. And this is a really cool story about two English brothers, Ferdinand and Francis Cook, and how they ended up here on the campus in Athens, Georgia. So just walk with me, we're gonna cross the street, and across the street, this building right here was the old armory that Ferdinand and Francis Cook would find themselves at after they fled the city of New Orleans. So follow me, let's go see. All right, we can cross now. So this building that's on the campus was actually an armory building where Ferdinand and Francis Cook would make an Enfield Style rifle, saber bayonets, and Bowie knives from around 1862 to 1865 for the duration of the Civil War. So right here, this sign, the Cook and Brother Confederate Army. So these brothers had an incredible journey and story, really, how they ended up here. So they were born in London, England, made their way to New York City in the mid to late 1840s, and they started working at an iron foundry up there. On a business trip in 1848, Ferdinand Cook made his way down to New Orleans for business. He eventually made his way down there with his brother Francis, and they started an ironworks company down there. They were very gifted engineers, and due to the Civil War, they opened their own shop. So on the corner of Canal Street and Commons, the Cook brothers would start making Enfield style rifles, saber bayonets, and Bowie knives for the Confederate Army. They had a large contract with Alabama. Ferdinand Cook was in correspondence with Jefferson Davis throughout the duration of the war. So big contracts, big money was involved, and through their craftsmanship, they just gained this reputation as really good makers of rifles and knives and bayonets. So just walk with me, we'll scan the building here. What's crazy is they set up shop on Canal and Common Street, and in 1862 they got word of the Union Navy coming up the river. So Ferdinand Cook stole a steamboat, and they loaded all of their machinery onto the steamboat and headed up the Mississippi River to Vicksburg, Mississippi. So let's walk this way, we'll just scan the building. So once they made it to Vicksburg, they actually ended up in Selma, Alabama for a little while, and then found their way here to Athens, Georgia, and this is where they operated until the end of the Civil War. Major Ferdinand Cook would actually fight and die in Savannah, Georgia during a battle, and that was really the end of their story. I'm not sure what happened to the other two brothers, but for the duration of the war, they were making Enfield rifles, Bowie knives, and saber bayonets. And it's just an incredible journey and a wild story of how they ended up here in Athens by the way of London, New York City, New Orleans, on to Vicksburg, Selma, Alabama, and finally ended up right here in this building.